USC won the Super Bowl, and I'm going to pass this over to B Jones. This is his subject here.
Well, let's start with number one, man. Jalen Hurts. Right. We all heard a lot of haters tell us about how Lincoln Riley's quarterbacks don't really do anything in the NFL. Now the man has a Super Bowl winning championship, Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yes, he does.
On his resume. So, how's that a win for us? I mean, obviously, Lincoln Riley is our head coach, and it solidifies him as a quarterback guru. We know at Alabama, Jalen Hurts was not the most. I'll say he wasn't the most polished quarterback, right? He didn't really get polished until he got under Lincoln Riley, and Lincoln got him pro ready. I think anybody who follows the game, we all know that. And haters, y'all just can't deny that, even if you want to. The proof is in the pudding. So that is a win for USC, especially with us currently trying to recruit some quarterbacks and make a flip right now. That bodes well for us.
Yeah.
You guys got thoughts on that before I get to the next point?
Well, Alabama still tries to claim Jalen Hurts and all this stuff, and that he was already pro ready when he got to Oklahoma and all this stuff. But there's a lot of information out there how Nick Saban told him to choose Oklahoma for Lincoln Riley because he was going to go to Miami because that was one of his destinations that he was choosing between. But Nick Saban, the great Nick Saban, kind of pushed him into Lincoln Riley's direction because he knew he would be the one to get him ready for the NFL. So as much as Alabama wants to say, oh, he was already pro ready this, pro ready that, no, Lincoln Riley got him ready for the NFL.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'll just add, I mean, if he was pro ready, he wouldn't be benched, in those games. So
yeah,
or transferred, right, and all that. But I mean, you could tell that Riley and Hurts, they have a pretty special connection. I think one of the first weeks when Riley was the coach, he came out here, or came out to LA, I should say, and hung out with him and whatnot. So they still talk, and excited for Jalen Hurts, and again the perception, right? I mean, 4 starting quarterbacks, one's a Super Bowl winning quarterback now. I mean, it's gonna. If I'm a quarterback out there, it's hard to say no to this guy. So.
Yeah, his quarterbacks have been doing good in the NFL. Like, sure, Baker Mayfield had a kind of a rough start, but it's the Cleveland Browns. So even our man Trojan Blade Gabe would understand that he wasn't gonna do good there. So, and now look what he's doing at Tampa Bay. He's having a resurgence, and hopefully Caleb Williams now has a good offensive-minded head coach. So he definitely has a chance to have not even just a resurgence, but just have a better crew around him. Like he had a record-breaking rookie season for the Chicago Bears. So it's not him. It's just the people around him that are the issue. And a lot of people are already ready to write off Caleb Williams. But come on, did you not see he had a worse offensive line than Patrick Mahomes did in the Super Bowl. Could you I think Caleb Williams would have had a better season if he had Mahomes' offensive line. So just any offensive line would have been better. And we got our man here, Mr. Raul Flores. Hopefully he doesn't dip out on us this time. But we're just talking about how Lincoln Riley is now a Super Bowl winning head coach when it comes to his quarterbacks. So,
yeah, definitely. Kind of like we've been saying it in past episodes. If there's one thing that Riley could flex on, is him developing quarterbacks, and and now even more, right? Like he gets credit for developing, or part of the development of Jalen Hurts. So he can definitely use that as a flex now too.
Yeah, he's not just a Heisman producer; he's a Super Bowl winning producer.
Yeah,
and Jalen Hurts pretty much was he was inserted as a starter pretty much from his rookie season. So he just had to wait out whatever his name is, who was Carson Wentz. He just had to wait out Carson Wentz because he knew he was going to screw up eventually. So
I don't know why you're taking shots at Wentz, but sure.
Well, we all know that that Jalen Hurts is the better quarterback at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but sure.
Yes, you hear it right, Red Fox. It is. It is that song. It is a song that people like to sue for.
Well, I guess sorry, that's my screaming son right there. But
I thought he was laughing.
no. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, man. Let's get into it. Point number 2 on how USC won the Super Bowl. I don't know if you guys remember. This was some months back. You guys in the chat probably remember me saying this a while ago. If you've been listening to us for a while, how the shift was going to happen in the culture. There's going to be a shift in the culture, and all eyes will be on the West Coast, right?
Yep.
So these past couple of weeks, it's kind of solidified that, right? With the Grammys,
Yeah.
with Kendrick Lamar, Compton artist, lighting it up at the Grammys, winning 5 Grammys for a diss track that, just took over the world, right?
Yeah.
So that plus, of course, the Super Bowl halftime show, right? So Kendrick Lamar is now on top of the rap game, officially. You can say that, right?
Yeah.
And his whole goal is bringing the West Coast right back to the forefront as it was back in the early 2000s when USC was running things, right?
In the 90s, too.
What's that?
90s for the rap game.
Yeah, 90s, early 2000s. That was our run, right? So, same thing. All eyes are back. It's always a cycle, man. It's always a cycle. It always goes from region to region. And now it's back here on the West Coast. All eyes will now be, once again, on the West Coast. Yeah. So, what does that mean for us? Our culture here on the West Coast will be on full display. So, how does that help us? So, that kid sitting there in Georgia, he's flipping on his TV, and all he sees on his TV is our lifestyle, right? And how we're living out here, our culture and everything, which has been for maybe the past 15 to 20 years. You turn on your TV, all you see is Southern culture, right? Yep. In the rap game. And so all these kids are soaking up all the Southern culture. That's why it has a big deal. That has a lot to do with why we see some of our kids playing ball in the South.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's where it's popping at. That's where they see it's popping at. But now, once again, all eyes are right back here on the West Coast. So now we can get it cracking, right?
Yeah.
Come out here, get it cracking where it's cracking at. Be a star amongst the stars.
It's crazy. It's crazy for like the West Coast now at this point when I'm at the gym in the middle of Minnesota and they're playing Kendrick Lamar's Euphoria.
Wait, what city in Minnesota again?
I'm not saying it.
It's the city. It's the name of the city.
You guys said Minnesota.
No, okay, so where I live, it's called Coon Rapids. So
yeah, so you won't be finding my black ass there no time soon. But
I took my headphones off for a brief second and I started hearing Euphoria, and I know that song inside and out. I was just singing along with it. I was rapping it all out loud, and other people, I'm just looking around like they don't know what's going on. They probably never heard the song before, so they are not the most rap friendly people out in my area. So yeah, Red Fox, yeah, it's definitely a woe. And like my mom, every time I say the city, she's like, "Please don't say the city." So. Yeah.
So
I identify as Minneapolis area because I refuse to say that.
Gotcha. All right. So if you took issue with what you heard and saw at the Super Bowl, I truly encourage you. I'm not even going to get deep into it. I'm not going to refute it. I'm not going to rebut. Kendrick already did that. He has a song called Black of the Berry on the To Pimp a Butterfly album that you should listen to. That would further explain things as well. And I have a link in the description that you can check out. And that should explain a lot of what you saw if you did not understand, for those who are just not into hip hop and don't really understand what was going on with your eyes. So I can understand that you may not understand. So I'm gonna help you out with that. So look down in the description box. There's a link there. You can watch after this live, of course. And that should further explain things, help you out. If you go in with an open mind, you will see just how profound and just the kind of artist that Kendrick is, man.